It's time again. Andy and Merlin, your cursed best friends. Flames rise high, don't even try. 'Cause we're all gonna die!
Good evening, everyone. This is Andy and Merlin of We Are All Going to Die podcast, where we talk about politics and pop culture. I was sick, Andy. I got food poisoning on Sunday, and I was out for like 2 days out of commission. But
what'd you eat?
Something with gluten or soy, but I think I got really just food poisoned, actually, because I didn't eat for like 2 days until today. But I feel a lot better now. Just think, our episode 1, the highlight, the headline was Musk versus Trump, and Trump revealing that Elon saying that Trump was in the Epstein files. Within 1 week, I think we've got 100 headliners. It's so much to pack in and to talk about. It's crazy to think that happened last week.
It seems like forever ago. It's funny how, it happens all the time.
Right.
But in Trump administration, it's like doubled. Like the amount of crazy things happening is just it's more than daily. There's multiple on each day. It's getting crazy out there.
Now, do you think, just like one of your ex-girlfriends, you think the White House is toxic?
Yeah. They're definitely toxic.
Yeah.
My ex-girlfriends and the White House, yes.
Are toxic.
Yeah.
So, Andy, since also our first episode, I designed a T-shirt design, and I designed it on ChatGPT, because you can do it. Sometimes it won't let you. It'll say it's against our policies. I don't know if you ever get that. Then I sent this image into Amazon and got me a pink T-shirt made, and it arrived the other day. So I want to show it to you. Look at this. This is the Trump versus Elon wrestling match. And if you don't know, I put Trump's head over the Adrian Adonis body.
Perfect.
That's the outfit he wore, and I don't know who this was, but I sent the first one. I guess you said Elon was too muscular, so I told AI to make him more pudgy. So is that better? You like that?
Yes, yeah, much better.
So I'll need to make another shirt, because we need money, folks. So we need to say we are all going to die. This should be one of our T-shirts to sell on merch one day. Hopefully, we can have a Shopify account and start selling some cool merch. How about that, Andy?
Yeah, that would be sweet. I think we could, things like that. I think you and I have a good brain for those kind of funny ideas.
Oh, yeah. It would be great. Do you think people know I'm poking fun of Trump, or do they think that's serious? I can't tell. What do you think?
Yeah, that image is really questionable, because it does make Trump look good, even though
it emasculates him too, because he's a fat guy with a pink bow tie on.
Yeah, maybe it's the look on his face kind of looks dominating, and he's kind of like his dopey.
I thought the outfit and his big fat, because this is probably what he really looks like in a singlet, that this would piss him off anyway. Right?
Probably. Could you imagine him in a singlet? I'm gonna have nightmares
myself. Should I wear my old singlet for the next show?
Don't you have one of those Borat bathing suits?
Yes. Imagine Trump in one of those, or Elon.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. So yes, so much to talk about. We're going to talk about, of course, the No Kings protest this weekend. I attended in Culver City versus Trump's military parade, and then I guess it was the Army's 250th birthday as well, or just the military.
Yeah, anniversary.
We'll talk about the National Guard and the Marines, and still in here in LA, what's going on with that. Trump and G7 the last day or two. Of course, Israel versus Iran. That's all over the headlines right now. And you just found out, I just showed you the video, which will play as well on the show, the arrest of another Democratic politician, New York City mayor candidate, Brad Lander. got arrested in the courthouse by ICE. Another scary, of ICE flexing their, and we'll talk about it more. The Big Beautiful Bill update, and then we'll clean the palette out by the end of the show, and we'll talk about all the pop culture fun we've had. I'll talk about me and Andy went to a Editors Guild event where we saw ESPN's 30 for 30 promotion for 4 years consideration for the Ibbies. And then Andy and I went to the 30th anniversary of the movie Showgirls at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, sponsored by Cinespia, which we went 10 years ago for the 20th anniversary. Had a lot of fun. So I can't wait to talk not only about the dreaded news of politics, but also the fun you and I have in Los Angeles, Andy. So people know we're just not a bunch of miserable guys, keyboard warriors that are in our rooms all day long, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who I think watch too much news, and so it's important that we take those breaks and do fun stuff.
So we like to show you people that we like to go out and have fun. We're not just in here, fuming like crazy, because we need an escape. I need a good laugh every now and then, right, Andy?
Oh, definitely. Otherwise, you turn into one of those guys like the Minnesota guy. You start planning things, and then a year down the road, you're acting on violence that you.
Well, hopefully not. I already have a couple of buddies who showed me the axes and the guns they have bought because they think LA is going to catch on fire with ICE and the Marines and National Guard and the White House, and he's ready to fight the MAGA crowd, he said. And I said, well, just calm down a little. Let's bring the temperature down. I know you're all wound up. I just asked the guy how he enjoyed the downtown version of the protest, because I went to the Culver City one. We'll talk more about that. But, man, I got an earful, and we'll talk more. This past weekend, as everybody knows, the No Kings protest happened all over the country, sponsored by 50501 movement, 50 states, 50-something, 50 causes, 50 movements, and one movement.
One movement, yes.
I know it's pretty tame in downtown, but when the National Guard there and the Marines, I was a little hesitant going down there. And then my buddy who says he bought a new axe was ready to fight. And he said he was doing the heartbreak kid poses in front of the National Guard because they're a bunch of 20-year-old scared kids. I was like,
those pictures.
What's that?
I saw those pictures.
What? The person?
He posted.
The person?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I've got to go back and see them, but I don't want to say their names here. Anyway, my girlfriend and I decided we were going to go to the Culver City one because it was pretty tame. I don't even think there was a cop in sight, actually, at this one. Yeah, it was a lot of families. It was very more upscale. A lot of older people. Very, very tame, but still looked like a lot more people than there was at the Trump parade. And we got there around 10:30. I probably parked around 4 blocks away. Got there at 10:30. It said it started at 11. It was going to go on to 12:30. We left at 12:30. The streets were packed. They had filled the streets at this point. When we got there, it was at the sidewalks. People handed us American flags. The energy was insane. There was a lot of positive energy, a lot of feel good, just really beautiful souls all there. And the atmosphere was great. No negativity, no anger. I mean, we're all anger, but you know what I mean? It's just, we're there as a community. We're there for the love. We're there because we love everyone. We're empathetic towards everyone. And we want everybody to have that right when you are on U.S. soil, or if you're an American or trying to be an American. And everybody has a right to due process. Everybody has a right to free speech. And we wanted to convey that for one day. And I think nationally, even internationally, the No Kings protest was a huge success.
What's up, guys? This is Merlin, and we are all gonna die. I'm at the No Kings protest in Culver City, California, in Los Angeles. And you see everybody in the background. I'm with my girlfriend Maria, and we made some posters. So this is what I made. See it? And then I finish it off with this one right here. Let's go get into the protest, and let's see these people. Are they peaceful protesters? So check it out. Baby.
Meanwhile, if you see these clips, the Army's 250th anniversary, and also by coincidence, Trump's 79th birthday, which looked like a boring hot mess where nobody showed up.
You can see that they're set up as if there's going to be this enormous line, but there's not even a line. One attendee estimated that roughly 100,000 people, give or take, attended the overall event. Still, many empty seats were visible. The attendee also described the overall vibes as pretty low energy.
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious that nobody was there. I also just thought, like, it's kind of funny, the anniversary, 250th anniversary of the Army, it's technically all year. So why did it have to fall directly on Trump's birthday? Like
it wasn't on the exact same day. It was on June 14th.
It was?
No, I don't know. Was the Army's anniversary actually?
Usually, when America celebrated the bicentennial or whatnot, July 4th in 76, it was probably a big day. I wasn't alive then, but you kind of celebrate it all year,
Yeah, will you see the letter?
The what?
Independence. You see the Declaration of Independence, and it's dated July 4th. So that was a moment in time.
Yeah.
Specific moment in time. Whereas I don't know about if the Army actually was like, June 14th, let's mark this down. This is the birth of the U.S. Army.
we should look that up. That'd be pretty funny.
So did you participate, or did you watch any on TV?
Yeah, I watched all of them, kind of. I checked in with the YouTubers, and I watched some live streams from Boston and from New York. One of our buddies was in Chicago. So I checked in with that. It was pretty amazing, the amount of people. Like, I don't
surprised.
I wasn't really surprised, because I expect that most people, I think most people are kind of anti the way Trump is using the ICE to do things and other things that Trump is doing. I don't understand or how he won. Like, who voted for this guy?
I know, right? But people didn't even go to his rallies at the end. Like, they were empty.
Yeah.
They didn't even come to his birthday. And then you see millions of people protesting against him. Now, when Biden was president, did you see any no Biden rallies like this or protest? No one was protesting anything Biden did they?
Yeah, not that Biden did. Like,
if what Biden was done, if what Biden was done was so horrible, why weren't people out in the streets protesting like they are Trump?
That's a very good question. Yeah, I don't know. If
Biden was so horrible.
You make a good point, because literally when you hear Trump and right wingers talk, like, it's like, oh, Biden was so bad, but
Right.
nobody was screaming out against it, except on OAN or the right wing blog
through social media or any other type of media, right?
Right. There wasn't mass demonstrations of people getting together to be out on the street and visible.
Did it make you feel good?
Yeah, but it's good to see, but I don't think that it sort of does a lot. Like, it brings a lot of people together and gets you thinking about this positive idea. But unfortunately, there's kind of still like a year and a half or 3 years before we can actually make a change.
Right.
So it can be a little disappointing when you think about it that way. Back in normal times, I think these types of protests would spark people in office to actually make change. Like, holy shit, all these people are against this policy. Maybe we shouldn't vote that way on legislation. With Trump, I don't think it matters. They're the most disgusting sycophants I've ever seen.
That they're not going to listen to the people?
No way. They're going to do what...
It even seems like a lot of their constituents, people who voted for Trump and Republicans, are also pissed off as well for the same reasons you and I are.
Yeah, but a lot of those people, I think, are, even though they're Trump supporters, they're still in the group of people politicians don't care about, aka they're not donors.
Yeah, right.
So
they're not the oligarchs, right? Huh?
Yeah, exactly. Like, no one, they don't care about people unless you're, using your wallet as speech.
But it still has an impact. I'm sure Trump and his people still saw these protests. They're like, what the F,
Yeah, and I saw one journalist ask Trump about the No Kings protest, and
before the protest, right?
Was it before?
Yeah, because it was him at the Kennedy honors. And he goes, oh, there's probably not much going to happen with that.
Yeah.
And he acted like he even hadn't heard about it. And I bet you his people kept him from telling him. Like, I think a lot of stuff is filtered. And he has sometimes learn the hard way about it, what's going on.
Oh, definitely. I think we learned that in the first term, with his executive time being most of his day. So he can watch Fox News and things. And we know someone speculated that he doesn't know how to read, but I think he knows how to read.
How well?
He doesn't read. He doesn't like to. He doesn't care.
Probably has a 6th grade reading.
It was an awesome contrast with.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in DC, it was so quiet. I mean, all over TV, they showed that one clip. Rolling through the road, and you can hear it like making the creeping noise, the creaking noise, like.
Oh yeah, from the tracks on the pavement.
Yeah,
because there's no applause or no cheering.
No, well, did you hear that? They even when he spoke and other people spoke, it was so quiet that Fox News, when they finally showed to have the highlights of the parade, they added crowd effects.
Oh, I did hear about that. Yeah.
And the rumor was that if you listen to it, they said that the crowd effects they end up using was for an indoor crowd, not an outdoor crowd. So it sounds like he's inside an arena.
Thank you very much, everybody. And thank you to Vice President Vance. And thank you to our wonderful First Lady. And above all, thank you very much, everybody. And thank you to Vice President Vance. And thank you to our wonderful First Lady.
Not outdoors, like birds chirping and cars honking and people screaming. Yeah, it was pretty sad, but I don't feel bad for the guy. Do you? And all the people around him, all his henchmen, were all yawning and just looked miserable.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Marco Rubio and Joni Ertz. They look, and Melania, they look just miserable.
I was surprised Melania was there. I didn't think we were going to see much of her this term.
I don't think his sons were even there, but they were too busy creating the new Trump phone.
Oh, the Made in America one?
It's made in China, and it's not even a phone, it's a service. They get all their constituents or their voters and acquire all their data.
They're literally the grossest people on earth, these Trump family.
Well, all this shit is going on while there is a war now in the Middle East, while there's war in Ukraine, while the shit's hitting the fan. They have time to fit in the selling the Trump phone service, Trump Mobile.
It reminds me of in the first term, Jared Kushner.
Yeah,
remember, he was tasked with creating Middle East peace, and all he did was work his business so he could secure that $2 billion loan for his company he was going to start right after his job. So
he's living off that because we didn't see Ivanka at all at the parade.
Oh,
She said that she had to go to one of Jared's friends' 40th birthdays, but this is a birthday for your father, the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army.
Yeah.
So you couldn't make it for that.
Yeah, no.
Good excuse.
I'm pretty sure she was asked long ago, like mid-Biden term, whether or not she was going to be involved in a next term. And she was like, no way.
Yeah,
she's the only one in the family with like a little bit of intelligence.
And dignity.
Well, maybe.
But yeah, it looked pretty bad. And of course, Trump's people said there were 250,000 people there. And every single comedian, every talk show host said that must have been one of the merch things you could get at merch was a stealth jacket. Because you can't tell any of the people were there because they're wearing the new stealth merch.
That's hilarious.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I think more people would have showed up if they just said it was the 250th anniversary of the Army.
Yeah, probably. I think because of the history of dictatorships and their love of military parades, there's a strong feeling in America that we don't want to see that. I don't know why anyone would say like or be against celebrating the 250 years of the Army. Like, cool, that's I'm down for that. But military parades, no. We don't want to be like that.
And did you hear that Trump was very angry at the military because he said they were goofing off and weren't serious enough, and he wanted them more serious, and he was mad that they were all smiling and waving at the crowd?
I did not hear him say that.
Yeah, that is true.
That's hilarious.
And that was his most, and he was, of course, angry at Hegseth for making it such a weak parade.
That sounds very Trump, and it sounds very dictatorial.
And he sounds like a madman, right?
Yeah, he's obviously obsessed with power and the feeling of being powerful. Like he needs it.
But why does his dictatorship basically turn into a comedy every single time?
Because he's an idiot. He's not smart.
And are the rest of his people as well?
Yeah, some of them are like smart people, so they understand the dynamics of how to operate. Trump is like, everybody has said it before, an egomaniac. Like his sole focus is on himself feeling that power.
And I think that, you even heard that today and yesterday when he was at the G7 meeting in Canada, and he got up and spoke, and all he did was basically talk about himself and how the Democrats have ruined his life, and they're cheating and lying, and they're horrible people, and Biden was horrible, and Obama was horrible, and then
no trophy talk this time.
No, and then Carney had to cut him off, and even and then the press kept asking Trump questions, and Carney goes, "Press has to leave," and you can see Trump in the background just getting angry at Carney for cutting him off.
Oh my God!
But he turned the whole G7. Oh, he also talked about Russia. So he's talked about how G7 kicked Russia out, and that was a horrible thing to do because Russia did nothing wrong. And Obama and Trudeau kicked Russia out for no reason. And the truth is, that's his delusional world. The truth is, Russia had just invaded Crimea in Ukraine.
Yeah.
During that time, 2014. 2014, guess what else? Trudeau was not the prime minister of Canada yet.
Yeah.
So he's wrong about two things. Is he not aware? Did someone tell him, like, sir, Russia invaded Crimea? That's why they got kicked out. They don't want warlords or tyrants or dictators in the G8 or G7 now.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And there's another thing. I can't remember when it happened. It may have been before the conference.
Yeah.
But he did make a comment about Russia and about how Vladimir Putin, helped us win World War II.
We're celebrating World War II, our victory. I said, your victory? Your victory. Tell me about that. And then I called somebody else, and I happened to speak to President Putin at the time. Now, in all fairness to him, he lost 51 million people, and he did fight. Russia fought. Sort of interesting, isn't it? He fought with us in World War II, and everybody hates him. And Germany and Japan, they're fine. Someday somebody will explain that, but I like Germany and Japan too. But Putin is a little confused by that, He said, we lost 51 million people, and we were your ally. And now everybody hates Russia, and they love Germany and Japan. I said, let's explain that sometime, okay? But
I'm not sure how. I know Putin's pretty old.
Yes, he kept saying
he still looks good, but I don't think he's 90 right now.
No.
And if he was in charge during World War II, I don't know how he's still alive, but it's amazing.
No, it's crazy. I mean, he just kept praising Russia. It was obviously like homoerotic moment with him and Putin in Russia right there, of him just praising until Carney had to cut him off. And you're like, oh my God, this is like so in your face. Like, this guy is in love with Russia. And that's it. And himself. And then you think that Putin told Trump, like, hey, we can go to G7 today. Just talk about me, comrade.
I don't understand he's got some kind of weird mental illness.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, like I don't know where to put it. Like, people have talked about what's it? I can't think of the word. But he's really irrational on so many things. Mm-hmm. He really does live in his own world. And I don't understand why he would be so like pro another country when you have no real ties or connection to it.
When the rest of the world is basically like thinks as Russia as an adversary.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you push away all your allies and then stick the middle finger up to all your allies, and then you start giving fellatio to Russia. doesn't make any. Is this what happens when you are so disconnected and everybody around you are either yes men or too afraid to tell you the truth?
Yeah, that's a big problem. It's really sad to see. I shouldn't say sad. It's like disgusting to see the sycophants act. Like, I don't understand how you can live your life and have like such like little self-respect that you would become one of those people. Like, I just don't get it.
No, me either. It's terrible, and I hope people in Congress and Senate can fight this, because I know there's a lot of, not only, of course, fighting with the Democrats and Trump, but now there's a lot of civil war within the Republican Party, or the MAGA Party, as you'd say, that people are not only angry about with Russia, but also with the Middle East, with what just happened in Iran. And they just think this is a war hawk thing. And Trump now says he wants to get involved. And a lot of MAGA people, politicians, say, listen, support Israel like we're kind of doing with Ukraine, where you supply them with things, but don't get directly involved with them, because this could open a lot of can of worms. This is Pandora's box, big time. Don't be the aggressor. Don't be the aggressor in this, because this looks really bad on our end. And now also a lot of Trump voters are mad about this as well, because he said when in his campaign for all this, he said he was against war and would settle both of these wars. And now he said he fixed these in day one. I don't know how many months it's been now, and now both of them have escalated.
Yeah, and he is the great deal maker. Like, he tells us all the time.
This is the art of the deal, right?
All the other people are not good at making deals. And even though we haven't seen a single deal he's made, apparently he's good at it. Yeah, it's a really interesting situation to see what Trump is going to do here, because
do you think he's playing 4D chess like his fans think?
I don't think Trump is smart enough to know the rules of chess.
Of regular chess, right?
Yeah, like forget D's. But
do you think he actually knows what to do with a knight on a chessboard?
I doubt it. That's a question I would love somebody to ask him. Like, I really want to know.
I wonder if Hegseth even knows how to play chess, let alone how to run entire American defense system.
No, these people are all like just completely full of shit. He may be able to play chess if he's, only on his first fifth of vodka. But he definitely doesn't know how to run what he's running.
He's playing over his head. And now they have fired all their best military men, like their best generals, say because of DEI. And now they've hired a bunch of new guys who don't know what they're doing, or they've quit, or he fired because they thought they were leaking information. And now, they've got a lot on their plate. Even if you had super experienced 5-star, 4-star generals there, this would be tough. And now you've got a bunch of idiots running the show.
Yeah, they're all in over the head, and America will get in over its head if we get anything to do with Iran.
Why is that?
Because of the Iraq War. That was the perfect example of the quagmire that these things break down into. And Iran is even bigger. There's a bigger population.
Right.
It has more money than Iraq did. So it's not a good situation. And then I don't know. I doubt Russia is in the position right now to get involved in backing Iran.
Yeah, don't they back each other?
Yeah, usually. But they do when neither country's really at war. Okay. And with Russia already being in a war where they're losing a ton of money and a ton of soldiers, so many that they're using North Korean soldiers.
That's bad.
I don't think they really have a play. Although I did read Pakistan.
It's going to help Iran?
I don't know that they'll help, but they did issue a threat that if Israel were to use nuclear weapons, they would respond.
God, I hope it doesn't come to that, dude.
Ugh,
on any side.
it's insane. I don't know I actually would like to know now, but how many nuclear weapons going off would it take to create like a nuclear holocaust? Because I know like a few would cause a ton of destruction in that area, but there is a point where it becomes too much for the world to like where it would affect us over here just living our lives.
Of course, wouldn't it get in the air?
Yeah, I don't know. It would, but I don't know what that takes. It would be interesting to learn that. Maybe I'll look into that tonight.
That's crazy, man. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. It just says, oh, they said the Iran Supreme Leader warns the battle begins. Trump weighs further U.S. involvement in Israel-Iran conflict. And then Trump's been posting a lot on social media, like too much. Like he says, I know where the Supreme Leader is. Like, why don't you like get off the fucking phone, get off social media, and work?
He's never done that his whole life. You think he's going to start now?
Like, this is ridiculous. And I read the other day, and I think it's so true because I see the people that I know who love Trump, like our peers, like are in our age brackets too. It seems, and there was a report that said a lot of people who are into MAGA and Trump don't have many friends in real life.
I believe that.
And I see that, and I connected the dots, and the people that I know who are like that are kind of alienated from friends. They don't know how to make friends. They're very introverted people.
Okay, so that's what the like explanation of why that happens.
Yeah. And so they become a lot of like keyboard warriors too. Like I noticed a lot of people who troll for specific things are like living 24/7 on their computers and just trolling people, especially in the card hobby that I do. They're that way. And then I meet these people in person and they can't talk like a normal person in person.
Really?
Yeah, like they're very meek. They shake. When I shake their hand, their handshakes are weak. When I give them a hug, they are just
wow.
They're nervous little Nellies, and I think because they don't leave the house and they don't know how to interact with people in person. But on the computer, they think they're alpha males. Seriously,
yeah.
And the rest of the world, like you and me, are soy boys, and they think they have all the answers, and they think they're cool and collected, and since they love Trump, then they're also must be alpha males. I've read that, man, and I've noticed.
I didn't know it. That's really interesting.
I know it's insane. Also, we're gonna find out here pretty soon. I don't know when it's gonna be. If the National Guard and the Marines should still be here in Los Angeles. Now, viewers, if you don't know, me and Andy live in Los Angeles area. I live over Miracle Mile. Andy lives in North Hollywood. We are very aware that the National Guard and the Marines are in downtown LA, even after the No Kings protest, because they came here a week before. Now, if you don't know, if you're living in like another state or something, you just see what's on the news. Now, I know when my parents and stuff watch Fox News, they call me immediately and they said, we heard LA's on fire, that it's crazy, that Trump has to send the National Guard and Marines out there because LA is burning. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? Like the protest, even before the No Kings protest, was like 3 or 4 blocks. Now, I don't know if you're very aware of LA, Andy, but there is like a protest all the time of some sort. There could be like a union protest or this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And they're like the same size. These happen every single day. And I've seen, especially during BLM, when they went on for miles and miles and miles, man, during the pandemic. I have been here for over 25 years. I've seen union marches for like writer strikes or actor strikes,
right.
Way bigger, full of actors, harmless, just like these people. No National Guard or Marines was called in for that, and it was never needed. And the police and the city of LA had it all under control. This was under control So my belief is, I don't know what your beliefs are, that you're just adding fuel to the fire when you bring the National Guard and the Marines. You've got young kids who don't even be there, who are now having to, I don't know what they're even doing, defending whatever against their own people. Like, it's crazy. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, I remember. I think it was you who told me, or worried prior to Trump taking office, about him doing something in the cities to instigate a reason to bring MAGA into the cities.
Right.
And not to say that our Marines are all MAGA, but to use that kind of force.
Right. And the National Guard.
In the National Guard.
Yeah, and this is what he wants to do. He wants chaos because he wants to stir it up. He wants to have an altercation, just like he's done with these arrests, because he wants to put everything in martial law.
Yeah.
So he can start, so they can remove habeas corpus and just arrest anybody they want, not just illegal immigrants, as they suppose, illegal immigrants, but they could arrest you and me if they run our databases and find out we voted Democrat and we created a show called We Are All Going to Die. We're sent to El Salvador or Syria.
If anyone shows Trump a picture of your T-shirt, we're in trouble.
Yeah. he can hang that in Oval Office, right?
Yeah, I wonder though if he might like it.
No, because he's fat.
I know he's fat, but he could recognize that you put his face on a different body, and he's still the powerful one in the image.
I mean, I really think he thought no one was going to show up these No Kings, because I think he's so arrogant and so self-centered. He thought people are going to protest against me. So I think he didn't think it was going to happen. And then I think it was a shock to the system. He's like, where is everybody at my party? And then he turns on the TV. Oh, they're having other parties and I wasn't invited.
Right.
And it's against me, and they're having more fun than I'm having at my own party. So,
yeah.
I hope the appeals court rules for the state of California, Gavin Newsom, because if not, man, then he could take federal action with the National Guard and have them against their own states, or take the red state like Texas, have them invade California or Massachusetts.
Yeah. It's scary. I was also thinking about, like, it would be a weird thing if, like, a Texas National Guard came here and he divided the country that much. Like, he's already divided us.
Yes.
But like now using violence from one side to the other, like, wow. And
never happened.
And California is so important to the economy of overall America that I wonder what would happen if, like, our funding just stopped.
Well, Gavin Newsom said he would quit funding the other states. He would keep the money because we're the fourth biggest economy in the world.
Yeah, yeah. And that would do a lot of damage to the rest of the country for sure.
Yeah, because it's funny because the red states are the takers and the blue states like New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and California are the givers.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who have all the attitude, you know, like don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Right, exactly.
It's insane. So I don't know. I hope they vote against Trump federalizing the National Guard and the military against states. It's just crazy. But we'll find out soon. They had the hearing today. But you know, Trump, they should use that against him, because at the G Summit conference, that's all he talked about. He talked about he was going to use the Guard, National Guard, and the Marines, and go into all the other blue cities that he doesn't like Boston, Chicago, New York, and do the same thing like he did in LA, because he hates Democrats. So they should show that's the only reason he's doing this. Use that against him.
He really said that at the summit?
Yes. Yes. And that's when Carney had to cut him off. And then he started talking about Putin and Russia, how they've been wronged. People mistreated them. and how horrible everybody is. Like
Wow.
Trudeau and Obama and Biden. It's all their faults.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say anymore. It's weird to sit here and like watch something you can't control just like descend into chaos.
We've never seen anything like it, have we?
Not here. Not in my lifetime.
No. And now, before the show started, you didn't even know about it. You've been so busy that we actually watched a clip. So you see that's the arrest of another Democratic politician, New York City mayor candidate, Brad Lander. Andy, what'd you think of that?
That was pretty wild. It makes me very angry when I see those police officers like not really being not really identifiable, not showing a warrant. And
now they look like, all the news reporters said they looked like evil Spider-Man.
Yeah, that there was that one guy who had like his whole face covered up.
Yeah, that was you at Lightning in the Bottle.
Well, that was for a different reason.
Okay.
I was hiding from everyone then.
Okay.
Like, who stands up for the law when the president directs police forces to act this way? Do we know? We obviously it would have come out if those guys weren't actually ICE agents. But do we really know?
No, but there was also like police there too, and Homeland Security people, and a couple of those guys weren't masked, so they kind of knew what was going on. But still, part of me also thinks, it's just conspiracy theory. This is just rumor that some of those ICE guys are Proud Boys.
Oh, I'm sure they are,
because they're the ones who are heartless, have no soul, who can do this and not feel bad when they arrest a mother or a father or kids who've never done anything in their entire life except go to school, pay their bills, pay their taxes, and try to be a good American citizen.
Yeah, it's funny. It makes me think of like there was maybe like one day in my life where I thought about what am I going to be when I grow up, and I thought like, oh, like I was thinking about different things and a police officer, and I'm like, wait a minute, I would feel bad giving somebody a speeding ticket. Like, I have no interest in like wanting to do that. Or some people that are willing to drag mothers away from their families.
Well, did you hear they even went to like a park? Like, I go to the park every day to walk my dog, and I talk to them all the time. There are a lot of nannies there pushing strollers with their kids during the middle of the day. Parents' kids. And I talk to them all the time. They're so nice. They speak perfect English. They're fine. And I heard a lot of the nannies got abducted by ICE in these parks in Los Angeles, and that they kept the kids there, like the little babies, for like hours on end at the detention center. And then, of course, the parents think like, what's happened? Like, my nanny, my children have been kidnapped. What's going on? All of a sudden you get a phone call saying, oh, we arrested your nanny and she's in detention. Your kid's here in detention. Like, that's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, that's really fucked up. I don't want to see that. That's
or a young 18-year-old girl, and if you saw this girl's face, she's so cute, adorable. You tell she is not a murderer, a criminal, or a gang member. She's 18 years old, going to school at Utah State, gets pulled over for a traffic violation, drives off the off-ramp after she got the ticket, and then all of a sudden ICE or Homeland Security's there, arrest her, throws her in detention. Girl doesn't have any crimes in her life or violations, except for the one she just got pulled over for, about a warning violation for driving too close to a truck. Wow. And now, for the last few weeks, she's still in detention, and no one's been able to get a hold of her. Like, that's crazy.
Is that the one that I think there was like in a video? She's her biggest worry while being arrested is like that she's gonna make it to her finals tomorrow, or like something like that.
There's been a few of these girls. There was also a girl who was going to school at like Georgia State as well, and same thing happened to her too, a traffic violation, and then got put in. I'm not sure if she's been released. That was like a month or two ago. But man, like, I thought they were going to arrest murderers and criminals and gang members.
letting them out of prison.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, exactly. And then all these people, and then all the people that he pardons ends up getting arrested again for child sex violations. They're the molesters. They even one in South Carolina, the guy who was like the spokesperson for lives on TikTok or whatever, or TikTok moms or something. That again, child pornographer, child molester. It's just like this is an upside down world where if you're a criminal, then you get awarded, but if you're an innocent person, you're considered a criminal. For telling the truth, you get thrown in jail for telling the truth, or fired from your job.
Yeah,
for questioning authority. That's when authority is doing a bunch of illegal things and it's corrupt.
Upside down world is a good way to put it. They
arrested Brad Lander and said that he was assaulting the police, and from that video, he wasn't assaulting anything. He was being assaulted. He had the arms up against his neck, and
it looked like he was
choking. And he's just trying to get out with his client, who was trying to obtain their citizenship, and they get put to the ground. It's insane. It's just total insane.
It really makes me angry to look at those jacked ICE cops, like thinking they're badass. I don't like that.
But it's backfired because I feel like people who hate Trump, like especially most of the Democrats, but now I feel like the people, the independents or the people who are Republicans have always been diehard Republicans that just voted for Trump because Republicans are seeing the truth now, or waking up when you were told it's bad to be woke, but they are waking and seeing like, what the fuck is happening here? This is not what I voted for. And this has to stop. This makes me angry.
Yeah,
so a lot of people against the Trump White House now.
Yeah, and I think that number will only increase, especially if there's any indication that American soldiers are going to Iran. That those numbers will skyrocket, and that unfortunately, it might take that to actually have some change in these policies.
And I think you even saw that with the military at Trump's parade, that they were in more like lower class. I don't know if we call it not lower class gear, but they weren't in their like proper like marching gear that Trump wanted to see them in. Like they're more like formal gear.
Yeah,
they were more in like fatigues and stuff. And did you notice none of them were in cadence when they were marching?
Watching the parade, did anybody else notice this right here? For soldiers to be marching off cadence in the United States military is crazy. What you're watching right there, that's a silent protest. They're not happy with being out there.
None of them were what?
They were casual. They weren't in cadence. They weren't doing the cadence drill and have someone doing this, the sound off 3, 4, or the North Korean Russian, with the legs, and they're like, they were just walking. And they weren't in sync at all. And I heard they were doing a silent protest because they're upset, of course, that they have done to the military where they fired their bosses, their general. They have destroyed DEI, gotten rid of like Black and other people's of colored heroes as if they never existed, including Jackie Robinson, the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yeah.
Like they've never existed. They've just wiped them out of the Defense Department. And also probably on the back burner, knowing that they may be getting in a war and have to go to the Middle East and fight. And they may have to go fight Greenland or Panama or Canada. Like or fight against their own people.
Yeah, the biggest lie in America is that Republicans support our troops. Because they do the exact opposite most of the time.
Go back and look. If you haven't seen any, or other viewers are watching this, go back and watch those videos and tell me if they're not protesting.
I haven't heard that, and that's really awesome.
Yes, it is. Watch them. And Trump was, of course, mad about that. Like, why aren't they marching? Why are they just wearing like their their casual, army gear. So, and now look at that. They knew what's going to happen, and they're angry. I don't think they want a bunch to be a bunch aggressor war hawks than be the bad guys. They wanted to defend democracy. They need to defend the Constitution, not Donald Trump.
Right.
But who is controlling the strings on Trump? Because you think people are telling, like, listen, this is not a good idea. This is bad. Or people are going to hate this. Are they telling Trump, like, everybody's going to love this, man? This is brilliant. Brilliant, Donald. There's going to be 1 million people on the Washington lawn, man. There's going to be nobody at these protests against you because who hates you, man?
Yeah, there definitely are people like that. His sycophants he's surrounded with himself with definitely do that when it comes to things like the protests. And the only other people that can control him are his rich donors.
So you think he really is out of touch?
Yeah.
He's becoming more out of touch every single day.
He thinks he knows what's right in his mind. So, like, the military parade thing, even though that was just for him, like, everyone around him was probably, like you said, building it up like it's going to be this great, amazing thing. And he's like, okay, yes. On the other hand, when it comes to like war with Iran, the only reason we may get involved is because there's rich donors of Donald Trump. The only other people he listens to are like, bigwigs, rich people that he respects. And some of them, like the Adelsons, come to mind.
Okay.
Well, there's only one Adelson now, but yeah, they're extremely war hawk.
Why is that?
When it comes to because they're support of Israel.
Oh, okay.
So whatever Israel wants, they'll be behind.
Okay.
Israel wants war with Iran, so they'll push Donald Trump to support that war.
Well, did you even see, like, they reported that Tulsi Gabbard, like 90 days ago, or I don't know how, 60 days ago, posted that there is no atomic weapons and nuclear weapons in Iran, and there's no need to have a war with Iran?
The IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003.
Yeah.
Now her and Trump are feuding, and Trump goes, Tulsi doesn't know what she's talking about.
What intelligence do you have that Iran is building a nuclear weapon? Your intelligence community has said they have no evidence that they are at this point.
Well, then my intelligence community is wrong. Who in the intelligence community said that?
Your director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard.
She's wrong.
And then he's also in a fight with Tucker Carlson, the guy who used to be his bestie. And for once, Tucker Carlson is being like coherent and making sense, saying like, we should not be getting in a fight with Iran. This is crazy. And I'm against Trump for a lot of things now. And he also said that Trump and Fox are a bunch of propaganda. And he was the guy who created the propaganda. He's the one who caused the whole election fraud thing. And that's why he got fired off Fox. And now he's turning on them. And now he's supposed to be like, oh, what?
Right. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, we know Tucker Carlson in real life does not like Donald Trump.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we found that out from the leaked texts. The suit against Fox News, the one that got him fired, those texts came out of Carlson and other producers and stuff texting each other about how dopey and how much they hate Donald Trump.
Right.
Meanwhile, they're going on their shows every night, licking his balls.
Licking his boots.
And so that's really interesting. Now that Tucker Carlson is really an enigma to me, because this is a man who does not need money, yet he's willing to like debase himself for that money still. Like, he's a trust fund baby. He has a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need $10 million from Fox News a year, but still he went through with it all. Like, I don't get what he's after.
And he likes to do it in corrupt ways and lying ways.
Yeah.
But Trump was mad about, the reporters asked him about Tucker Carlson. He was mad at Tucker too, saying Tucker doesn't know what he's talking about.
I didn't know that. Is that all because of...
That was also at the G7.
Is that all because he's against the war?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they asked him about Tulsi. I think he was actually just being interviewed with the Prime Minister of UK. And that's when he dropped all those papers, as you see here.
We all know the great Prime Minister of the UK, and we just signed a document. This is, sorry about that. This is it.
A very important document.
Little windy out here. Give me that. We just signed it, and it's done. And so we have our trade agreement with the European Union.
And going, we just made a trade deal with EU. Is that right? And the guy just goes, yeah, but UK is not with the EU, correct?
Right. Yeah. No, they left because of the Donald Trump of the UK.
At the time, the messy hair dude.
Yeah. And his buddy Farage. I forget. Oh, yeah. Boris Johnson. That's his name.
Yeah. And he just kept saying EU, and the Prime Minister of UK never corrected him. But they dropped the papers, and Trump couldn't even bend down and grab the papers because he's so fucking fat and old that the Prime Minister had to pick up all the papers on the ground. And that's when they asked him about Tulsi and Tucker, and he said those people are idiots.
Is it his leg braces that don't allow him to?
Maybe. It's so many weird things. There's so many conspiracies, and
I saw a photo.
They're definitely hiding something about him. Don't you think so?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it doesn't really matter, because Trump's old. We know he's old. We know he's overweight. We know he doesn't, exercise and whatnot. And
right.
So
you don't think he's 6'3" and 215 pounds?
Definitely not.
You know who else has that body build? Most tight ends, like DK Metcalf, Kelsey. They're lean and mean. Trump does not look like any of those guys.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I saw one today that was it was really weird.
SGA, I think, is about that size. He's about 6'3", 6'4", and 215.
Who?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the Oklahoma Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't tell me Donald Trump and SGA have that same body type. At all.
Not even close.
No. But what'd you see?
I saw today a photo of Donald Trump. They were commenting on him medically, and his right hand is 4 times the size of his left hand.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's way bigger, it's swollen, he's got something going on there.
Yeah,
and they said it was
he's going to make
to try and hide something.
No, they are. Well, did you see when he was at the podium the other day? Underneath, he grabbed a glass of water and he couldn't grab it to his mouth. Yeah, and he had to lift the other hand up with it. The other day when he was talking about something, and he kept saying something, each time he said a certain word, his shoulder went up like this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you do this. What is that? Why is that? So he's definitely got some health things. I cannot see him making it 4 years at all. We're gonna have JD Vance as president.
Yeah, well,
it'll make it any better.
I think it will be better, but only slightly. JD Vance is at least a rational human being. He can think things through.
Maybe I should kill people and destroy our people.
Yeah, Trump is a mental case. He just reacts.
He's just a bridge burner. And I think that's all MAGA wants to do, which they don't have an answer or solution to any of these issues, but they know how to be an arson to all these problems.
Right. Yeah.
An arson to every issue. So they love burning the bridge, but they don't know how to build a bridge. You agree?
No, that totally makes sense.
And they just make it up as they go along, and then they go, "Oh, we don't know what to do. Well, let's burn another bridge." And they'll forget about the last bridge, and then we'll burn another bridge, another bridge, another bridge.
Yeah, whatever they don't like, they just want to burn it down, and then they don't think about what's going to replace it or how things are going to work after.
That's all they're good at is burning things down. and ruin lives and dividing the country. That's it. Well, anyway, do you have any updates on the big beautiful bill? Because I have no clue what's going on. I know they've been rewriting things, and that's about it.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's
so much going on. I can't even keep up with the bill.
I did hear something about.
Well, I know that they said the senator's revision would still increase the deficit to almost $3 trillion, approximately $3 trillion. Maybe I think 2.8 or something. I don't know really off the top of my head, but I read that before we got on here and other things. And of course, it's going to just probably ruin Medicaid and all the other crap and who knows what else. Or
yeah, well, I did see they were meeting on Medicaid cuts.
Okay.
So that's definitely happening, but I saw some story about something to do with the U.S. Virgin Islands, some kind of tax break, additional tax break for, I don't know, people who hide their money there or something. I don't really know.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, it's funny how, like, we're not paying attention to that anymore. You know, all these distractions are happening around while the big, beautiful bill, like, they could do so much damage with it.
And then the last topic, what I kind of skipped over it, but I'll have to come back to it again before we go into our pop culture talk about the assassinations of the politicians in Minnesota.
That's really scary. That's just like the part of the MAGA world that is totally terrifying is these people who literally
are day in, day out, right?
Yeah, and are willing to go. I read a quote, or that the newspaper quoted that he left a message or a text message to his wife saying, "I'm sorry, I hope you can forgive me. I went to war tonight." Like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you, dude? It's insane.
It is, and it's just bad, and it's sad. And you know, the two people that got killed, their dog even got shot and killed.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they had like it was like a service dog that they kind of foster or something, like service dogs, and then they fell in love with the dog so much they kept the dog because they keep the dogs when they're getting trained.
Yeah.
And then the other couple, I guess they're still surviving, who got shot. You know, they were body blocking their daughter.
Yeah, could you imagine in a like in the middle of the night, someone bangs on your door?
And you see the mask he had on? It was like a Halloween looking mask.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
Yeah. It was like Halloween. And he was supposed to go like to 4 or 5 other people's houses too.
Yeah, it's literally something that like happens in movies and it's not real life.
It's just sad. It's sad about everything. So this poor girl, you know, is now parents are, you know, and then I guess the other people had kids too. So they're going to be orphans now.
Yeah,
a couple, and then all of a sudden you see Mike Lee, who was, I think, what senator? Is he senator or congressman? Senator of Utah.
Oh yeah.
He does the post and just makes jokes about it, and shows pictures of the killer, and makes disgusting political jokes about it. And so he gets confronted by one of the politician women from Minnesota. She's like, "Why do you say that about my friend? Like, this is horrible." And I guess tonight he finally deleted the post. But he definitely owes everyone an apology for it. And they're not going to censure him, but they want to censure here in LA at the courthouse for just question. Padilla?
Yeah, Padilla.
They want to censure him.
Yeah, it's insanity.
They won't censure Mike Lee, who's like really like, imagine if we said something like that, or a Democrat said that, they'd probably get impeached. And do sure. You should. Like, anybody should. Doesn't matter what politics you're in. If you say something that rude, that would kick you out in a heartbeat back in the day.
Yeah, for sure. I just saw today. I don't know if it was yesterday or if Jon Stewart is still only working Mondays. So maybe it was Monday night. Okay. Yeah, The Daily Show. And he did a great, like, a little spiel on Mike Lee that's like mind blowing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they went to meet with, it was him and something. It might have been during the veterans healthcare push he was doing that time.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to meet with Congress people about a bill for this or that, and Mike Lee was one of the ones they met with. They said he was so creepy that like he was so weird that when they walked out of the meeting, they were like, "What the fuck is wrong with that guy?"
I know. I heard a lot of people think even before all this, he has mental issues.
Really?
Yeah. I can see why, because I'm like, dude, do you not know the temperature of the room? Like, first of all, it is way too soon. And second of all, it doesn't matter what time of year it is. It's always the wrong time to post something like that.
Yeah. You can't like turn.
And that's definitely going to ignite other crazy people to go out there. If you glamorize or make jokes about it, make it normalize it, it's horrible.
Yeah. And then on top of that, you have a president who posts names and addresses of his adversaries whenever any problem comes up.
Yeah, people are going to be scared, man. People are going to be scared. Well, Andy and I are not too afraid to go out to the real world at times. We have to get out and escape from all this politics at times and bullshit. So I took Andy to an Editors Guild event at the New House in Hollywood. We went to an Emmy Award for Your Consideration event for ESPN's 30 for 30. And I knew Andy was going to love it when the first clip they showed was from one of the Stanley Cups. What was it, year 2011, 12?
2011, yep.
And it was the Boston Bruins versus the Vancouver Canucks, correct?
Right, yes.
And I'd forgotten all about it. I didn't know that it went to Game 7. The Canucks lost to Boston, correct? So you're right. Andy's from New England area, so he's a big Bruins fan. We even go see the Bruins almost every year play at Crypto against the Kings every time they come because Andy has to wear his hockey jersey at all times. But I did not know that they choked big time in Game 7. The Canucks did, and Boston won that hands down. And that the crowd outside downtown Vancouver went crazy and just destroyed everything. I didn't know Canadians could get that angry.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. As a Bruins fan, there's certain teams that I dislike very much. The Canucks are not one of them.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, no, never really had a big issue with the Canucks, but they've never won the Stanley Cup. Okay. They went to, I think, 2. I remember one when I was a kid that I was actually cheering for the Canucks because
their team's been around a long time.
Since the 70s, or I think there was an expansion late 60s, maybe. I think
since I've been around then too.
Yeah, I'm not 100% positive, but they've been around for a while and they've never won the cup. I can understand there being high emotions for Vancouver fans.
Right.
As a Boston fan, we hadn't won since 1972.
Really? At that time?
Yeah, at that time.
So, I didn't know that. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
It was a big deal to y'all too, pretty much.
Yeah, it totally was a big deal.
I didn't know Boston had a huge drought like that.
Yeah, they really did. They had a few years here and there where they did really well, but not well enough.
And what was downtown Boston after that win?
Everybody there was
was there fires and dumpsters as well?
Everybody was like cheering and happy. And in the streets, but it was very much more peaceful.
Right.
No dumpsters on fire, no people burning structures down. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I wish
we met a couple of the producers, and I think one of the editors was there. They had a moderator, had Q&A. What did you think about the rest of the 30 for 30 event that I took you to?
Well, they showed us 4 stories. First one was obviously the coolest for me, the most exciting for me.
Of course.
But, they were all really interesting.
Yes.
There was the one, what was it called with the gamers or the streamers?
Days or Haze guys?
Oh, yeah. But that one was really interesting.
Phase.
That's
club or something. Yes.
Yeah, because the one dude kind of like descent into drugs and
they were all partying too hard. They had the curtains since they all live in a house together in LA, and there were gamers, so they never opened up the blinds or the curtains. So it was always dark in there. They never knew what time of day it was. They needed to get like hundreds of content done every single day to be relevant on social media and play games all the time. And then they part because these kids are like teenagers in their early 20s. So they're partying their asses off, doing lots of drugs, probably fucking a lot of girls. And eventually you break, right?
Yeah, you can only keep that up for so long.
And one of them broke quickly to a point where he lost control of his legs.
Yeah, he couldn't walk for a while.
No, he's still in rehab, I think. And it's terrible. And then another one about the was it Butch Reynolds, the 400-yard dasher from 1990, who they switched out his urine examples in France and told him he had been doing anabolic steroids, and he said he hadn't, and it was a whole setup. It was all politics, and they didn't want to deal with it because they didn't want to be just like the White House. Seems like the White House, but with the Olympic Committee or the whatever it is, the Field and Track Committee or whatever, and they were just like, we don't want to deal with it. We'd rather go and party and abuse our power.
Yeah, that story was really crazy because there's one thing that I followed a lot of like falsely accused people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love the stories of people getting found innocent,
right.
When they were accused of something. And so like I just can't believe what it would be like to be accused of a crime that you really didn't commit, or accused of
you had no control
taking steroids when you had not.
Right.
And it's such a miscarriage of justice to experience that.
I know. So, and what was the other one? We had 4, right?
Yeah, the other one was the Sydney Olympics.
My God! Oh, the Spanish Paralympic basketball team, men's basketball team.
Right.
And again, this was also a weird thing where there was actually 2 guys, and the one guy they interviewed actually he had a intellectual disability, which we don't know what it was, but they both seemed like normal guys. And he goes on team after, I guess this is 2000, after Sydney Olympics, after who is the host of the Olympics, after that, they bring in the Paralympic athletes and have the Paralympics at that same venue. So this was in Sydney. And he said when he got there, they were winning every game like 30 points. And then after the games were over, he wanted to go and, experience Sydney and the Olympics and go see the other contestants. And he said the rest of the team never wanted to go out. They never wanted to leave the rooms, and he was confused as to why.
Yeah,
and
they were all acting kind of weird.
Yeah, there was a reporter who starts with a magnifying glass looking at these athletes and realized that these athletes have no disabilities. That's crazy.
Yeah, I forget if like because it was the one guy who just like glanced at the newspaper back in Spain.
Right.
And he recognized one of the guys that
plays friends with him.
Men's league basketball down the street. It's like
he
doesn't have a mental disability.
He plays in the neighborhood men's club.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a disability. He's never told me he had a disability.
Yeah.
And I know this guy too. He doesn't have a disability. What the heck's going on here?
So it turned out that there was like 3 of them or more.
No, there's only 2 guys who did not have a disability. The guy that they were interviewing and another guy, but everybody else were just hired hands. That's why they even beat I think Russia in the finals by 30 points.
That's crazy.
It was insane. But we had a good time, and they had hors d'oeuvres, and we had some wine and cocktails afterwards and some tacos. So, and we got to hear the producers talk about it. So that was quite interesting. You agree, Andy?
Yeah. I enjoyed that thoroughly.
And then this weekend, it's our second time going this. We went to the 20th anniversary 10 years ago.
Yep.
This past Saturday, there was the 30th anniversary of Showgirls. We were at Cinespia's weekly weekend events at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, where they screen movies every Saturday night. And the movie that night was the 95 movie Showgirls with Gina Gershon, Kyle MacLachlan, and Elizabeth Berkley, who was the star. She thought this was going to be her breakthrough role. It flopped. She flopped after that. It ruined her career. But she embraces the movie. She even spoke this time again. We saw her 10 years ago, and we saw her this time. She spoke and presented the movie.
Happy Pride. I love you guys so much. You have no idea. I love you so much. I just want to honor this extraordinary, powerful, bold, magical, sexy, strong, resilient LGBTQ plus community. I love you.
The movie was packed. If you don't know what Cinespia is, the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, we bring picnics. We lay our blankets out. You're not on tombstones or graveyards. It's
That's what my parents always asked me.
I know.
Wait, you go to the cemetery?
No. You bring you bring some joints. You bring some liquor. Some wine, some beer, food. There's a photo booth. There's even bars there. There's food vendors. There's food trucks. There's porta potties. They have it all, don't they, Andy? There's like how many? 10,000 people there. There's quite a few people.
Yeah, I think it's over 5,000.
Yeah. It was sold out, and there's parking. So we're veterans of this. We know how to work it. We get dead front and center, as you see in the photos. It's like, if you have never seen don't watch Showgirls alone, because you'll hate it unless you're turned on by all the nudity. But it's definitely like just ridiculous dialogue. The dialogue's ridiculous. But it was also Pride Night night too. So there was a lot of people representing the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of guys
wearing the most fun at this movie.
And there were a lot of women topless wearing pasties as well, who were going to the photo booth, because the photo booth's great. But Maria and Andy and I did not have our pasties or castles on or our Showgirls outfits, so we didn't do our photo booth. But you should check it out on their Instagram or their website at Cinespia, Cinespia. And if you've never seen Showgirls in front of 5,000 LGBTQ people, it is hilarious, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah, it's so much fun. Everybody's hollering and cheering at certain parts.
They feed the people the lines. It's super campy. It's kind of like watching Rocky Horror Picture Show, because you get those same kind of reactions and everything. And it's hilarious. The dialogue's ridiculous, and then the dancing's ridiculous. The sex scenes are ridiculous. Like, everything's ridiculous, isn't it? But it's so ridiculous, it's funny. It's so good. It's so bad, it's good.
Exactly. Yes, that's the way to put it. It is really bad, but it's so much fun in a crowd.
I know. And my girlfriend never seen it like in its entirety, especially at the cemetery. Our friend Sheila, same thing. Our friend Nick's boyfriend Mick had never seen it. He stood up and gave it a standing ovation. He was so blown away. He was like, "Oh my God, this was one of the best nights I've had since living in Los Angeles." He goes, "I want to see this again and again and again. This is better than Cats."
There's a couple that they always bring back to Cinespia that you love so much.
What's that?
Like obviously, Purple Rain is the other one. I've seen that twice there.
You did?
Yeah.
I love when they show the camp like cult classics. But what was your favorite line in Showgirls?
I don't know that I can really pinpoint a line, but one thing that I loved was there would always be this, like, in the conversation, there'd be like this dramatic pause, and then like you expect her to say something really like profound, and it's just like, I gotta go.
Mine was who was the patchy skin guy who was her strip club owner guy, the manager, visitor on stage on the Showgirls stage.
Right.
And he looked at her and he's like, "You should come back to being a stripper." And he goes, "I bet you miss being cummed on all the time." He's trying to be like, he like said it like he was sincere too, didn't he?
Yeah.
And oh my God, that got a laugh. It was just lines like that. Do you feel like it was pretty much like a low budget script, but done with a high budget Hollywood budget?
Yeah. Really what makes it so like over the top and ridiculous is the script.
Yeah,
because
like that was done by Basic Instinct writer Joe Esterhaus.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How did his career fare out?
Writer. Oh, he was like the first like $1 million option writer at the time, and that was a big deal. But that dialogue was terrible.
It really was.
But they made it. But the director, who was Paul Verhoeven, who also I guess directed Basic Instinct and did he do like Total Recall or something? I think he did.
I love Total Recall.
But he directed this crappy script that was super like basically low budget, but designed it like this was like a $200 million budget. It was insane. It was ridiculous and didn't make any sense or anything. But did you have a good time? That's the most important thing.
Oh yeah, always. Now that I even said this to, I forget who that night, but I realize as I've gotten a little older, like the going there is like, oh, I gotta try and time that traffic to get in there and this and that. I don't want to do all that, but then as soon as I get there, I'm like, oh yeah, this is so
right. I hate that part too, dude. I hate getting in line and then cars try to break in line at the same time, and everybody's very aggressive. And then I'm always scared of that guy who yells at you to slow down in the cemetery, even though you're going 5 miles an hour.
He's like this with his wand, like, come on.
Slow down. You think he's going to grab your neck inside the car and pull you out. Because this guy is like muscular dude, looks like a pro wrestler, and can just like break you in half if he wanted to.
Yeah.
He's got a very deep voice. But yeah, it's a lot of, once we get there and you see all your friends and we have some food and get a little inebriated.
You get your space.
Get your space, get real estate situated. Oh my gosh. And then we saw the people in front of us, like these goth couple. They had like an entire table of tablecloth and blankets. They had like this candelabra of candles. The girl even had like a live stream set up at the same time. You're like, oh my God, only in LA. And she had like her boobs hanging out, tattoos all over her torso. It was insane. That's what I love about LA. I love the weirdness, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
there's certain things you can only see out here.
Yeah, and like you don't even have to pay for it. But you pay for it in other ways, of course. And rent and taxes, right? Well, anything else you want to say, Andy, before we sign off?
No, I gotta go to bed.
Okay, me too. I have to go to bed. And anyway, make sure you subscribe to Andy and Merlin's We Are All Gonna Die podcast. Make sure you subscribe. We need subscribers. We just started out. This is our second episode.
Yep.
Make sure to hit that like button. The more likes we get, the more we get into people's algorithms who are also the same ideology, or maybe even not the same ideology as we are. Progressive, liberals, Republicans, MAGA, whoever you are, watch us, man.
Maybe
we're just kind of tell from we are not political experts. We're just telling it like it is from our point of view, and we tell what our lives are like in LA as well. So we like to share with you and just have a full conversation going on. That's what this is about. We're not textbook warriors here or keyboard warriors. We're just trying to have fun and get some stuff off our chest, right, Andy?
Yes. And if we can change MAGA minds in the process, we love that too.
We love it too. And just show you, like, you know, you can't just sit here all day worrying behind a computer, behind a TV. Get out, get some fresh air. It's summertime. Enjoy some life with your friends, family. Just get out and be sociable. There's a lot of things to do. Go do it. And we want to show you that we like doing things as well. So that's why we include our pop culture lifestyle with the politics lifestyle. Right, Andy?
Right.
Until the next show, it's Andy and Merlin. We're all going to die. Subscribe, like, hit that bell button to get notified for more videos. We also post clips, shorts. We'll be posting soon on other social media platforms. Help us out by any ways means. Share it with us. Share our videos with other people, your friends, and we'll talk to y'all guys later. Bye, guys.
They're freaks. Bye. It's time again. Andy and Merlin, your cursed best friends. Flames rise high. Don't even try. 'Cause we're all gonna